Well, I'm down in St. Martin on the French side for a Survey C trial. I thought I'd shoot a quick video and talk about the market that we're in now and buyers markets and sellers markets in general and how it affects the catamaran market. So, French side of St. Martin has fantastic food. A lot of the best restaurants in Paris will have a branch here. And so if you're a foodie like me and you like to try good food, this is a great place to do so. You can see that we have a number of boats anchored out here, living for free off of the beach, off of Marigot. That's the largest French town on the island. And well, let's get started. Now, buyer's markets versus seller's markets. A buyer's market, as many people know, is when we see more sellers than buyers. So, buyers have the advantage, and prices usually are relatively low when you're in a buyer's market. Conversely, when you're in a seller's market, we see more buyers than sellers. Okay, and so now prices are rising in these times, and sellers generally dictate the terms. Now, in the catamaran market over the last year, we've had a two-tiered market. We've had a buyer's market for certain types of cats and a seller's market for other types. So if we're talking about boats that are close in condition to like a new yacht, like say, 1 year old to 4 years old, well maintained, name brand, not semi-custom, not a kit boat, well recognized, well respected production brand, their prices have been very firm. And sellers have been dictating terms because there are a lot of buyers who tried to get a new boat, but the dealers and the factories told them, well, it's a 2 to 3 year wait because, and so you're going to, and they're not giving many discounts at all, if any. So a lot of these people will pay a relatively high price if they can get a boat now and not wait 3 years because, you're not getting any younger. And so this part of the market has definitely been a seller's market. All right, now in the money pit category, which would be boats 10 years old or older that have high engine hours and they're got a lot of defects at survey. You typically would find 50 to 60 defects when you survey these older boats. That has definitely been a buyer's market. And so and sellers are having a hard time getting rid of those boats. All right, so now everything in between that 5-year-old boat and the 10-year-old boat is kind of what I call a balanced market. So it's sort of even between a seller's and a buyer's market. Now, here's some tips for you. In a buyer's market, you can take your time. There's no rush. In a seller's market, no, you can't do that. You've got to take action quickly when you see a suitable candidate. And the main thing, when you find something that meets your parameters, get a first option right away. Don't waste time asking non-important questions. I had a buyer who we identified a good deal, and he had to have some answers to some questions. I remember one question was, well, the boat has to have electric toilets. Well, I said, look, for $900 per toilet, we can convert it to electric. So, let's get the answers to my questions. Well, a lot of these sellers hide behind agents, and you can't get answers quickly. And so, well, he missed that boat. Somebody jumped in, got a first option. That boat's gone. So, and it's been it's been slim pickings for good boats over the last year. All right, so don't waste time asking questions. Get a first option. Then you can ask all the questions you want. You can still reject the boat if you want. And So you're really not losing anything but a little time, all right? Now, markets can switch from, say, a seller's market to a buyer's market pretty fast. And in the last 45 days, we've seen sellers getting more anxious and prices have been dropping on certain boats, but that's mostly the older money pits and in the balanced market, okay? Also, know how markets work seasonally, because every year we could see a buyer's market for a few months and then it could switch to a seller's market. So you need to know how the markets work. So here in the Caribbean, where 70% of the cats live, the people that own most of these are, we call them snowbirds, because they're escaping the cold weather where they normally live to come down here and use their yacht as sort of a second home, and just mainly to get out of the cold. So these snowbirds, when they're buying, generally do so for the upcoming Caribbean high season, which would be from around Christmas to May. And so when they do their buying, they do so from around September 1st until December. And prices generally go like this, okay? September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. And so those snowbirds are usually a couple, and when they're thinking about selling the boat, they usually have a discussion that goes something like this. Hey, honey, let's get another high season of fun out of the boat, and in May when we're done, let's put it on the market. And so we usually see a lot of listings coming in the summer with lowest prices of the year around July, August, something like that. Now, sometimes that can vary by a few months, but it's generally been happening for the last 34 years, which is how long I've been in this market. So if you understand that, you can understand how it always becomes a buyer's market in the summer and a seller's market in the fall. And another catalyst for that buyer's market in the summer is that some owners, like Europeans, cannot get the same insurance policies easily that North Americans can get, because their deductibles are higher. And so when you're a European owner and you see a hurricane coming, it kind of wakes them up to the fact that, I'm going to have a big loss. If my deductible's over 100,000, I better get that thing sold. So they call us up and say, what do I have to do to get it done in a month? And we say, well, you got to knock 30 grand, 50 grand off the price. And so this spurs the market, and it makes the other sellers kind of join in. And so this is why sometimes when the hurricanes are coming, we see a lot of big price drops. So this is the time to make your move, okay? So be ready for those in the summer. And sometimes that, is delayed for a time, like maybe a month or two. All right, so right now, in summary, November 2022 is what it is. We're in a mixed market. That is, like I described before, the like new boats, they're a substitute for new boats, are getting snapped up very quickly. You can't fiddle around when you're looking for something like that. But the old beaters, the money pits, these sellers are having a hard time, and they're all frustrated with us because we can't get them sold. But it's just the market. I'm sorry. And let me just mention something else I keep hearing. All these people are saying, oh yeah, we hear the stock market's going to tank and the real estate bubble's going to crash because interest rates are going way up and nobody can borrow money anymore. And so, yeah, the yacht market is it's gonna probably do the same thing. So I'm gonna wait and get a deal. I'm gonna get a beautiful brand new Lagoon 46 for $300,000. No, it's not gonna happen. We had a similar situation during the Lehman crisis in 2008, 09, when Lehman defaulted and some bubbles popped, and people thought, oh, the market's gonna crash, and it actually did for the old junky money pits. But for the nice boats that were, looked like new because they were well cared for, especially the name brand owner versions. Prices didn't go down, they stayed firm or went up because a lot of people exiting the real estate market decided, maybe I'll put some money, maybe I'll get a cat and go cruising, take off. And so the good boats enjoyed price rises. And so, especially on the new boats right now, if you're thinking that the market's going to crash, then no, the 1 to 5 year old boats, no, it's not going to crash. There's still very good demand, and they're selling. They're not staying on the market long. So that is a seller's market right now, okay? But on the money pits, well, there's bargains. If you can deal with all the hassles and continuously working on the boat and dumping money in it, well, okay, you got a nice selection out there. Anyhow, if you want to see selling price histories or get some more information, go to my website, largecatamarandsforsale.com. Send me an email. I can send you selling price histories and my insider secrets to buying catamarans report, and we can make a plan. So just want to say it's beautiful down here in the Caribbean, and well, give me a call, send me an email. Bon voyage.